and the Maliboho be conquered and colonized. Queen Modjadji kept the flame of freedom alive at the height of apartheid repression. She suffered persecution, she suffered humiliation and severe harassment, but remained resolute in a quest for freedom. As we celebrate this queenship, let us salute Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela and celebrate her immense contribution to the struggle for freedom and her contribution to improving the lives of our people. Mama Winnie will be very proud of this celebration today, the recognition of a queenship. She was also prominent among those who fought for women to assume their rightful place as leaders of our people. In terms of our Constitution, which was the result of decades of tireless struggle, all people are equal before the law, men and women, young and old, black and white, rich or poor. The recognition of queenship in the country demonstrates commitment to the principle and value of gender equality, as well as the recognition of the leadership role that women play in all spheres of life. So this Balobedu and the people of our country is a truly historic milestone in the democratic South Africa that we live in today. The President of the Republic recognized the Balobedu community as the first queenship in South Africa 2 years ago on 31st March 2016. This was the historic restoration of the dignity of the Balobedu. Balobedu or Balobedu identity was born in the Njerere Valley in present-day Venda. There are still many Balobedu or Balobedu in Venda, including Balobedu ba Chitocheni, Balobedu ba Ligege, Balobedu ba Ramachekisa, and others who still identify themselves as being part of the Modjadjis. The Balobedu of Modjadji are also the same stock with the Bakwebo of Matiza of Rwanda and Nerubola of Rubola. They all revere the dove and the bush pig and migrated from Great Zimbabwe through Nachianuru in Venda. Balobedu are also the kith and kin of Masingo or Basenzi from Buhwa in Bulozi, a section of Balozi, Bakalanga of Chingamira, Mwanamutopa in Zimbabwe. This recognition emanated from the investigation that was conducted by the Commission of Traditional Leadership, Disputes and Claims. The recognition of this queenship is a clear demonstration that our people long ago did reject this classification of tribalism. Our people used to live amongst each other without any fast tribal affiliation. They lived with each other in peace until the colonialists came and implemented their divide and rule policy. Today's event is a celebration of a unique and enduring royal leadership with a rich history that dates back over 400 years. As we are all aware, the royal family nominated the regent to act on behalf of the minor queen-elect Masalanabo Modjadji, who will be installed as Queen Modjadji VII once she graduates in terms of Balobedu customs and traditions. And that is going to represent a transfer of power which is peaceful, which is orderly, which is in terms of the traditions of our people, that one leader hands over to the next one, and there are no ructions, there are no ripples, there's just peace that reigns, because what is important is that the life of the people must continue normally and ordinarily. And this is what distinguishes the Balobedu traditions over a 400-year period. The Queen Regent, the Queen-elect rather, will assume responsibility that has been borne by a long line of kings and queens who have served their people with dignity, with humility, with purpose and great responsibility, always putting the interests of the people ahead of the interests of the individual. I was privileged to be part of a delegation of the African National Congress that paid a courtesy visit to the Queenship earlier this year. This was a continuation of the courtesy visits that the leadership of the governing party has been making to the traditional leaders of our people throughout the country. As the oldest liberation movement in existence on the African continent, we thought it appropriate to introduce our new leadership to the descendants of the kings and the queens who helped found our movement. This demonstrates the unbreakable bond between the past and the present, between the challenges our people confront today and the battles that they fought for generations against dispossession and injustice. The Balobedu Queenship is a living instance of that unbreakable bond. It reminds us of where we come from and where together we hope to go as a nation. This occasion is both a celebration of the Balobedu Queenship and an opportunity to affirm the vital institution of traditional leadership. Traditional leaders have a crucial role to play in building a society free of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Lihezi zezwambiwa la Nkosi Khulu Botoni Ramabulana bachiri buhosi ni mushumo unewaba umushumo wa ushumela lushaka lumushumo wa wita uri buchiro abantu balushaka buvele phanda zabude buhosi kentwe buthokwa haholo hore na batho ba Afrika re le batho ba South Africa ke mushumo wa hore maphelo a batho ba rena a be kaone mahosi a rena ke batho ba ikemiseditsego go šomela setšhaba hore setjhaba se kgone ho tswella pele botse. Our traditional leaders need to be at the forefront of the struggle to restore the rights and the dignity of our people. They need to ensure that the land is restored to those who work it, and that those to whom the land has been returned have the means to work it. Ke a kgolwa gore setse le kwele ka mokana lena gore mokgatlo wa rona o mogolo wa African National Congress o ile wa fetsa ko conferenceng ya ona ka December gore lefatshe le la rona mmu o wa rona o boele setjhabeng o boele matsogong a beng ba bona. Mmu o ile wa tšewa ke bao ba ne ba re gatelletse o boele setjhabeng. Ke ona mošomo o re tla bang re sebetsana ka ona re le mmuso gore ba hana kapa ba gane lefatshe le la rena le tshwanetse gore le boele go beng ba lona. Re tla dia bjalo gore lefatshe le boele go batho ba rena. Our government is committed to give effect to the provisions of Chapter 12 of the Constitution, especially the restoration of the dignity of the institution of traditional leadership in a constitutional democracy, and to provide for its roles and powers. Renyaka hori, buhos, whether it is through our kings or our queens, bube buhosi, bo tabang, bo samaiswa ka constitution ya lefatshe la rena. Re puisetse le seriti le boemo le mešomo ya bogosi ba rena gore e be ntho e tlhomphiwang ke setšhaba ka mokana sona. And considering that an estimated 25 million South Africans who live in rural areas under the leadership of traditional authorities, this institution has a vital role to play within the governance system to advance the developmental agenda of our country. The Department of Traditional Affairs has assessed the functionality of traditional councils in 7 of the 8 provinces with recognized traditional leaders, namely in Limpopo, in the Northern Cape, in the Free State, in Mpumalanga, in Gauteng, Eastern Cape, and Northwest. One of the key focus areas of the assessment was the level and quality of participation of traditional leadership structures in municipal councils and in their contribution to integrated developmental planning processes. The Ministry of Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs, which is led by Dr. Zwelim Kize, will work to address legislative gaps identified in the assessment affecting the participation of traditional leadership at local government level. Hante re nyaka hore mahosi a rena ba shumisane botse le di-councillor tsa rena le bo masepala ba rena ba shumisane ka tsela e tla diang gore go be le service delivery e botse mo batho ba rena ba dulang gone. We are engaged in discussions with our traditional leaders on how they can play a direct role in sustainable development and in the advancement of a revolution in agriculture. It is in agriculture that we want to focus our attention to boost the growth of our economy. It is in agriculture that we want to involve the majority of our people in rural areas to get engaged as we return land to them, to get engaged in food production, to get engaged in agri-processing, to get engaged in increased agricultural production. It is in agriculture that we want the majority of our young people, and I can see that there are many of them here today. We want our young people to participate effectively in agriculture like they do in other countries. When some of us travel to various countries in the world, we often see how young people have been drawn into agriculture, firstly, through gaining experience right at the homestead, through gaining experience at the agricultural colleges that are in the various areas where they are growing up. We want to increase the throughput of our agricultural colleges so that we can put through many, many young people in those colleges so that they can be trained in food production, livestock production, agri-processing of all manner of sectors in the agricultural area. We want to produce enough food so that we can begin to export large quantities of food, because there are many countries that don't have the type of fertile land that we have. There are many countries that are crying out for the type of land that we have. It is for this reason that it is important for us to return the land to our people, because having been just given 13% of the land by our colonizers, 87% of the land that was in the hands of a minority was not being productively utilized. One of the key reasons we want our land back is to make sure that we utilize the land in our country much more productively, so that we can produce food for the world, so that we can produce food to feed our nation. This is a great moment for our country. It gives us great opportunities, and it is for this reason that we want more and more young people to look at agriculture as a growth industry. It is for this reason that we want those who have flocked to the urban areas to consider coming back to the land, to come and work the land as we return the land to our people. That we are going to return the land to our people is a foregone conclusion, because we are going to do it, and we will do it for the sake of the dignity of our people, but also for the sake of increasing the agricultural production of our agricultural sector, and also to grow the economy of our country. So therefore, it is in this area that our traditional leaders have a role to play in promoting the attractiveness of agriculture to all our people, but especially the young people in our country. It is for this reason that we want our traditional leaders to play an important role in promoting the economic growth that will lead to job creation in the areas where our traditional leaders have control, and also to encourage local economic development. South Africa stands at a time when we can utilize agriculture as a great growth opportunity, yes, to create jobs for all our people, but especially our young people. We cannot build thriving rural economies without the participation of traditional leaders. And it is in these areas where our traditional leaders govern or rule that we will also be able to promote the growth of other sectors of the economy. The manufacturing sector can kick in as agriculture needs manufacturing. The chemical sector can kick in as agriculture also needs fertilizers and chemicals. The engineering sector can kick in because agriculture needs tractors and other engineering implements. So Bahayesu, Balobedu, these celebrations provide an opportunity to understand the responsibility that each one of us bears to ensure that we respond to the needs of our communities. They also provide an opportunity for us to understand one another's culture and heritage, not only in South Africa, but across the region and the continent. And that is why we are pleased that there are representatives of various countries amongst us today who have joined us for these celebrations. For us as South Africans, traditional leadership is an important component of our nationhood. The institution forms part of our national identity and contributes to nation building and social cohesion. Millions of our people identify with traditional leaders as both symbols, but also as guarantees of unity in our communities. We congratulate the Balobedu people on the bestowal of their queenship. This historic event calls indeed for a celebration, but it is a celebration that must lead us to address the needs of our people. It must lead us to address the issues of poverty, inequality, as well as unemployment. It must address itself to the actual direct needs of our people, such as the roads, water, and all the other services that our people need. It also reminds us of the hard work we must still undertake to ensure that the lives of our people do indeed improve. Let us be ready to roll up our sleeves in the spirit of Tumamina to build a better life for all the people in this community, in this country, and across the continent. Balobedu, rekwile gore, le batla gore, Kilobedu, ibe lelemi leleng, le tla recognizwang mo South Africa, rekwile. Eo rekwile botse, e tla shumiwa re tla isa gore bao ba e shumang ba e shume botse ba e lokise botse le bone le lena gore ha re šoma ntho tsa rena ka tsela e tshwanetseng ka tsela ya semmuso ka tsela ya molao re a kgona gore re phumelele le ile la re le nyaka gore bogosi bo ba lena ba Balobedu bo kgutlisetswe maemong a le a kgale mamotha re etsa celebration re a keteka mamotha ka hobane bogosi bo le ba Balobedu bo boetse mo bo tshwanetseng gore bo eme teng mamotha bogosi ba Balobedu bo tshwana le bogosi ba Bavenda bo tshwana le bogosi ba Bazulu bo tshwana le bogosi ba Mathosa bo tshwana le bogosi ba batho ba bantši mo South Africa a re leboge a re phololetse re leboge re re zweitea re a zwi leboga jale re le yona ya mmu ya lefatshe la lena le ileng la tšewa re re le yona a re šome ka sa molao a re šome ka tsela e tshwanetseng ka gobane re bone gore ha re šoma ntho tsa rena ka tsela ya molao ntho di a loka a re phololetse nepo re 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 a leboa re roše re re pula pula ya leboga Balobedu le sa le botse ke yona ke khilokele ka maobane
All right, that was President Cyril Ramaphosa there speaking at the Modjadji Royal Family and the Balobedu clan in Limpopo, who are today celebrating the official recognition of their queenship at the event that was held at the Mokwakwaila Stadium out in Limpopo. All right, with that, we'll take a quick ad break and we'll be back with more news.
No. Yes.